So let's just see how we can create one doubly linked list. So in this doubly linked list, we're gonna have 3 nodes with the values like 100, 200 and 300. And because this is one doubly linked list, so they will be connected both in forward and the backward direction. So all the nodes will have 2 pointers, one to the next node and another to the previous node. So let's just see how we can create this doubly linked list. We need to create 3 nodes. So the first node will have the value 100, the second node will have the value 200 and the third node will have the value 300. And the head pointer will point to this first node. So the first node will point to the second node and the previous pointer of the first node will be null and the next pointer of the last will be null. So the second node has a link to the first node and also it has the link to the third node. The third node has a link to the second node and its next pointer pointing to null. So this is how the doubly linked list looks like with the 3 nodes. So previously we have created only one node inside the main method. Now if we wanted to create multiple nodes, we need to have one separate function for that. So here we should have a function to create new nodes. So the function will return struct node type pointer and we're gonna call the function createNode and it will take the data as the parameter. So inside the function we're gonna create one new node. So struct node pointer, we're gonna call this new node. Now we have to allocate memory for that, so we're gonna use this malloc to allocate the memory. Now after the memory allocation, we need to set the data in the new node. So new node arrow data, so the data will be the data that we pass as a parameter. Now because every node has a next and the previous pointer, so we have to set that. We're gonna set new node next will be null and also the new node prev will also be null, and after that we have to return that new node, so we're gonna return the new node. Now whenever we wanted to create a new node, we can simply call that function and we pass the value that will be stored in the new node and then it will return one struct node type pointer, so we're gonna call the head. So that means we have created the first node with the value 100. This way we have to create 2 other nodes. So we're gonna create second node, so we're gonna call this second and it will have the value 200 and also we're gonna have one third node with the value 300. Now we have just created the nodes, so their links are not set. That means we have to set links between them. Currently all of their next and previous pointers are pointing to null. Currently head pointer is pointing to this node with the value 100. So here we have to set the links between those nodes. So first of all, let's just set the link of this node. So here we're gonna create this link. So the head's next will be this second node. So here we're gonna set head arrow next is the second node. So that means we have created this link. For the second node, it will have one next pointer pointing to the third node and it will have one previous pointer pointing to the first node. So here we have to do that. Second previous will be the head node and second next will be the third node. And for the third node, we have to set a link to the second node. And because this is the last node, so the next pointer will be null. So here we're gonna set third previous pointer will point to the second node. So we have successfully set links between these 3 nodes. Now let's just see how we can print these nodes. So here we can create the function to print the nodes of the doubly linked list. So we're gonna create the function void print list and it will take the structure node type pointer head. Now to traverse that list, we need one temporary pointer which will initially point to the head, and then we can move this pointer to all the nodes in the list and we can print their data. So here we're gonna create one structure node type temporary pointer. This will initially point to head. Now we're gonna use one loop and inside the loop we're gonna check if the temporary is not equal null. So we're gonna run this loop as long as the temporary pointer does not become null. When this becomes null, that will be the end of the list. So in every iteration we're gonna print the data temporary arrow data, and then we're gonna move the temporary pointer. So in each iteration we're gonna move the temporary pointer to the next node. Here we can use one arrow, so we're gonna use the arrow for presentation purposes only. So this loop will traverse through the linked list and it will print all the data of the linked list. Now before that, here we can print the null for the presentation only. So because the first node's previous pointer is pointing to null, so here we can print that. So here we're gonna print null with the arrow, and also at the end of the list, here also we're gonna print the null because the last node next pointer also pointing to null. So let's now print all the nodes of the linked list. So here we're gonna pass the head pointer. So the first node has the value 100, then 200 and 300, and the first node's previous pointer is pointing to null and the last node's next pointer is pointing to null. So this is the way we can create nodes in a doubly linked list using the function, and also we can print all the nodes of the linked list. So hope you understand about the creation of the doubly linked list. So hope you understand the concept. See you in the next one. Take care.